All right, y'all. We got another case here that I want to look into. Most of these cases that I'm pulling up are dealing with how we deal with emotional stress, how we cope with trauma. This stuff is making the news like crazy. It's almost exhausting just to see it, and then keep coming up with the same conclusion. Nothing's happening. It just keeps repeating itself. You know what I'm saying? What are we gonna do? Like what forms of rehabilitation or programs, or what are we going to do to get ahead of this? I mean, we're attacking the youth. Nobody is treating it like it's a crisis. We're not upholding our part as being the protectors. We're just not doing it. How can we get ahead of these things to stop these things from happening before these kids have to suffer? Why not we try something and figure out like what's going on? Because the research has been done. But before I go any further and dig into that, man, let's take a look at this video.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Fergani, and we begin now live with this man previously convicted of brutally disciplining and killing his 12-year-old son learned his fate today. Testimony revealed Danilo Coles was beaten, burned, and forced to exercise until he collapsed and died. Derek Coles admitted that he made a mistake and says he cries every day. Sue Calvert was in the courtroom today for the emotional testimony.
When I was looking at that, I was just like, okay, maybe he made a mistake. But then, I'm like, but you doing this for a while. Like I actually went and read, you know what I mean, read into this case, and it this went on for hours. Like I think they beat him. They did that, made him exercise, beat him for like 5 hours. Like I can see in the heat of the moment, when you sometimes when you whooping your kids behind, you be heated, you be tearing their ass up. You know what I'm saying? And you might be a little heated, and you might get out of hand. Then you catch yourself, and you like, see what you, and you know that always see what you made me do, but you stop and you looking, and like I didn't hurt him too bad, but I tore that ass up. You know what I'm saying? That type whooping, ass whooping. You know what I mean? But you looking, you ain't just like beat their ass and then you like, yeah, I fucked you. I'm gonna do it some more. You got like concentrated and premeditated type murder anger. You don't feel, like when my kids hurt, I feel it. Like I feel the hurt. Even when I spanked they behind, I'm hurt that I had to do it. He didn't feel that beating that baby that long. He didn't feel that at one time. 4 hours. I don't know.
Three different family members testified that Derek Coles was raised right in church with
Accountability. But I mean, that's why I had to bring that part up. What I was saying before they actually said that he was such a good boy. I don't know why that happened to him. Why did that? He shouldn't. Man, it's much more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to the mental part and understanding like what is this generational thing being passed down. You know what I mean? Like what are we like what is really going on here? Like we really like have to uproot it and stop it from happening. But I'm gonna let this play, man.
accountability. They say that's why this whole situation is so hard to fathom.
He stayed in our church. He was actually fluent with sign language for the church.
Have you known him his entire life?
Yes.
Did you know him as a problem child when he was growing up?
No. No.
3 years ago, 12-year-old Danilo Coles was rushed to the hospital in such dire condition he couldn't be saved. Testimony revealed he had been tortured over a period of time and forced to do hard physical exercise until his little body simply gave up. A jury found the father guilty back in August, and today Judge Joel Perez assessed punishment.
Losing my son has been the hardest thing over the last 3 years to deal with.
I'm going to sentence him to 45 years.
The defendant's heartbroken mother says she remains devastated.
Everything that I saw in that courtroom was not my son. He wasn't raised like that. He wasn't taught like that. He was raised in a church.
He was sentenced to a total of 95 years on 5 separate counts, but because they will run concurrently, the net effect is 45 years in prison.
Hold up. She said he wasn't raised like that. But, I read, he was raised in the church. We always use that excuse. And we're going to blame spirituality for it. We're going to blame the devil. We're going to do all that. But we're not going to investigate, and we're not going to really find out that this dude is really like cooked. You know what I mean? And then the judge cooked him some more. But, bruh, if you really look, I read up on this whole case, man. This dude said that this is the way his father disciplined him. He said his father used to beat him, so he was raised like that. He was raised like that. He was getting beat, so he numb. He's numb to it. You know what I mean? He's under a psychological trauma that's become generational now. It's generational. I mean, it doesn't even like, it's not even just confined to his family. This seems to be the norm on how people raise their kids, because they don't understand the trauma. They don't understand that they are suffering from trauma. And they don't understand how to deal with the trauma, because first of all, we are not seeking counseling. We have not identified problems within ourselves and tried to sought out means to correct them. We are not doing it. We are, and then furthermore, the community, the overseers, the leaders are not making it a point that it's a mandatory thing that, we be psychologically evaluated periodically. These things are necessary. These are community. This is part of the community engagement that we get ahead of those things. And the only way to get ahead of the mental problem is that we be analyzed continuously, because we understand the stress factors that are out there. Some of them are voluntary. Other ones are just what we call accumulation of bullshit. If you go look at the case, they was like stuff like that. They don't normally die from exhaustion, but you know what I mean? Because I think the muscles break down or something like that, and then it puts it sends like the breakdown goes into the bloodstream, and then that's what caused the toxins to kill you. But when I read into it in depth, they were pouring boiling hot water on them. Like, how do you go from whooping to pouring boiling hot water on the kid? That's torturous murder. And these people are not going up for evaluation, like prisons and all of that. And aren't those supposed to be rehabilitation facilities? Correctional facilities? Like, what form of correction, what type of therapy, what is going on that's going to take whatever's coming in there and rearrange it and produce for us a desired outcome that we can see? You know what I mean? That's gonna show this is the problem, this is what happened, this is what we did, and this is how we changed it, and this is the outcome. Like, when are we gonna start seeing that? When are we gonna start to see a conclusion? When are we going to start seeing progress and stop seeing these things constantly happening? Like, this stuff is still, it's still happening. We still seeing these kids getting killed by parents, by guardians, by supervisors, by people who are supposed to be protecting them. So that's telling me that we have sick leaders. We have people who are sick that need to be evaluated to save these kids. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way they're going to be saved. So the next question is, okay, what we going to do? How are we going to do that? those same strict guidelines that are pushed for everything else need to be focused in that area on the rehabilitation of the mind. Period. I don't like those people who do those heinous crimes like that. Those are our test subjects. Yeah, that's what I have to say. That those are our test subjects. Like we need to get them, bring them in, test subject. Have because at that point they don't have any rights anymore. That's what we do. We take away the rights and we use them as test subjects. And I ain't talking about just pacifying them with medication. I'm talking about really doing the project that's gonna. But I'm knowing, and I'm gonna say it that the real reason why that's not happening is because how what is going on, what you see, that is the project. Plain and simple. That's why we keep seeing it, and it's to keep us wondering and keep us traumatized. That way we can't see the cure because we're traumatized with what we're looking at, and then we just paralyzed where we don't do anything. I could show you some on here so you can look at it. It says over the years, researchers have demonstrated the link between abusive and dysfunctional childhood experiences and negative psychological, behavioral, interpersonal, and health outcomes. It says together, these experiences are described as adverse childhood experiences, the ACEs. This is a mean piece. This is like this will shine light on how we can further like set up a nice program that'll start like retraining and redeveloping the mind on how, and then exposing too, like who is around us that's maliciously seeking to destroy instead of like trying to change, and then like realizing that hey, we could see the ones who were how could we say it, how should I say it, hypnotized. They break up out the spell. You like, okay, yeah, I see, man. Dang, I was under that. Man, I need to, you can see true repentance. Ain't that what they do at the church? That's what they do. Say, hey, whoever want to repent or whoever feels sorry about what they did, come to the altar. That's what we want to see. We want to see that breakdown where they, people are like, oh man, and then we want to see the ones who don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you don't want to go to the altar? Oh, you don't want to get up and yeah, you want you okay. Yeah. Yeah, we see. Okay, yeah, go get him. No, he got 3 kids in his custody. Yeah, he got 3. Yeah, get him. He need to be psychologically evaluated. I mean extensive. Beyond, I mean, that's it. He don't have no no rights. To say, no, I don't want to be. I ain't going through nothing. Nah, yes you are. And in this community you are. Get your behind up right now. Let's go. Since we want to be so gangster, since we want to be so hard, since we want to claim these areas, since we want to, put down and all that, that's a perfect opportunity. Gangster. It says together these expectations are described as ACE, right? They encompass exposures to both maltreatment, which is hyphen as neglect, and physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. Right there. I mean, that was just one. There was a couple of things in there, that was related to the boy, to what happened to him. And then you have these single moms. They be going with these dudes, bringing them into the house and turning them loose, and they be having trauma like that, and then they be beating kids behind that ain't even. I went through it. I experienced that. Trust me. I know exactly what's going on, and that's why I'm like really I'm beamed in on this one for real. Neglect and physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. And it says too, and the household dysfunctions, parental separation or divorce, domestic violence, or living with family members with criminal behavior, substance abuse problems, or mental illnesses. How many families do you, how many, like, just alone in that right there, that's like explain my whole family though. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with that. I mean 1,000 with that one. Like every one of them, I can put a title on every one of my family members with that. You know, that's so they say if you have one of those, if you have one of those things, then you are under some type of trauma or something. Like you need to be evaluated and you need to be classified and checked on regularly. And then it says one area of interest in the ACE literature has been the intergenerational influence of parental childhood adversity on offspring's well-being. Boom, there it is. So it's showing you that this stuff, like what he said, my father did it to me. So and the crazy part, he thought that he should be released. Go look at it. He thought when he told them that they should have released him. They should have said, "Oh, okay, your daddy did you? Okay, yeah, then that's how you should have did it. Yeah, you all right. Go ahead, go out there and get another. You know what I mean? Go make another baby and do him the same way. Just don't kill him. Don't kill him though. Don't kill him. Just beat him until an inch of his life, and you good. And then send that child to school with other children and have him beat their asses while he's there. Bully all of them around. Mess up their psychological development as well. Yeah, just keep it going. Yeah, that's what we're on, you know. Yeah. Can y'all see like what I'm seeing? It seems like a plan to me because what I'm offering or what I'm suggesting is totally the opposite. I'm saying get in front of it, find out, do evaluations, categorize, classify, inspect. I'm doing all the stuff ahead of time to stop all of this stuff from manifesting because we don't want to be burying babies due to generational influences that were passed down that was adverse to the well-being of offspring. And then it says experiencing adversity during childhood can be damaging to a parent's psychological, cognitive, and behavioral areas of functioning because children often lack the necessary skills to cope with the negative emotions and thoughts that arise after exposure to an ACE. After exposure to what? To parental separation or divorce, domestic violence, or living with family members with criminal behaviors, substance abuse problems, or mental illnesses. So people who have any one of those, I gotta say that again, that has any one of those around them, and they had that around them as a child, are eligible for a psychological evaluation immediately. Not maybe, not if you want to, no, now, right now, bring them in, you too, family, all of y'all, let's go. Because what we talking about is community development, right? So if we talking about community development, we talking about all for one and all this stuff that we want to talk about, then we need to find the root problem. And that's what we need to hone in at, because that's what's going to stop. Because you have to get, what they say, you get it at the root, then you good. You ain't got to worry about it, because if you just cut it out, it's gonna grow right back, and that's what we seeing. You know, you think you pacifying it, you sending them, you locking them down, you 40 years, 50 years, they're like, oh yeah, he good, he got all that, he got time, he out of. No, he's not. The infection is still there. It's gonna regrow, and it's showing. I mean, I ain't just saying it. We see it. And it says right here, if you finish reading it, y'all need to go read this. Like, we always sitting back and waiting for somebody else to tell you, you know what I mean? When you can go read this stuff and initiate it, and we, you know, this is gonna take a collective, this is gonna take for us to come together collectively. Everybody gonna have to step up and believe and not believe, but know that this is what the problem is and how we're gonna attack it. Like, we need to be down to the city halls and screaming this. It says this can then hinder a parent's ability to become a well-adjusted and supportive caregiver that can appropriately respond to stressful situations. It says researchers. Over the years, researchers have demonstrated the link between abusive and dysfunctional childhood experiences and negative psychological, behavioral, interpersonal, and health outcomes. They've been researching it. The research is out there, and that's all you need in order to initiate a program. And then look at the evidence as for support, and use the evidence for support. This kid did, this parent killed him, this parent killed him, this parent did that. That's it. You walk into our neighborhoods, all that is going on, you're like, there it is. Okay, that's what we need to do. Clean up time. Let's go. If you really want to have, oh, you don't want to, yes, we are, you doing it. Just like when you put down, tell them, you better shut up. I just murdered that dude. You better not say nothing. I'm gonna kill you. Same energy. Keep that same energy right there. Oh, this is our block. We out here repping. Keep that same energy. PMC PubMed Central. You can pull it all up and look it for yourself. Man, y'all make sure y'all get in here. Y'all like and support and give some life to this channel, because I'm telling you, this is how it grows. You know what I mean? We ain't in here talking about nobody's problems. We ain't in here, no, we talking about what the issues is that's creating the problems. We getting right to the meat and potatoes of this situation that we have. And this is a big one. I mean, that's why I had to get into this one, man. It's gonna be more, and you're gonna see it's gonna always trickle back down to this. But I mean, if we gotta go over it 100 times, and we gotta expose what it is, because there are intricate parts that play significant roles that need to be identified and exposed, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna go in here and we're gonna use like experts like Tracy. Dr. Tracy Marks, she's gonna get in here. I'm gonna let her get, and then you can go research and look at some of her stuff. Because these are professionals. I'm not a professional. I'm just an experience. I'm just an awakened experiment right before your eyes. Cause I didn't seen all of that, the abuse, the neglect, and then the product of it, prison. All that, gangs, all that, you know, I did all, and that's why I'm speaking from that place. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from the freedom. I'm speaking from the grave. I'm speaking from the prisons. I'm telling you, it no longer exists anymore. It's fading away from the mind. But the only way that we can make sure that it affects us on a massive scale is that we get full knowledge of it. We get full understanding of it, and then we implement and we enforce the change. And I'm going to leave y'all with that. Blessings and peace. This is Wise That, and you are in the empowerment zone. This is Wise That TV. Peace.